Hey, what's going on, guys? Uh, Rage Gamer. I have a little bit of a rig update. I had obviously got some upgrades or some new stuff. Um, I saw the Cooler Master Half XB unboxed on Linus Tech Tips, and as soon as I saw the case, I had to get it. So I got a case. I've had this case for like probably a month now. I think about a month. Um, I'll pull you guys in, have you good look at my setup in the actual rig itself, and I'll give you guys kind of my thoughts on the case itself. Along with the case, I got a brand new HD 7970. It's an XFX Ghost, which I got for a good deal through Newegg. I'll talk to you guys about that, and also talk to you guys about the difference between 7970 and the 6870 Crossfire that I was running, compare their performance, stuff like that. And then of course, I put a new CPU in there. I got the FX 8320, but I get it's not Intel, whatever. But I'm already running an AM3 Plus platform. It was only like 179 bucks. That much more performance than the 8120 I was running. I got it OC'd at 4.5. It's still a really good CPU. It's not Intel. I get that. I get it's not as fast, and eventually I'm gonna obviously have to step up and get Intel. But for now, I'm gonna pull you guys up, take a look at the case and the rig, and kind of give you my thoughts on it. Alright guys, so this is obviously the front of the case. Has 220 intake fans, and then this case is, obviously it's a cube form factor, so I thought that was kind of cool, the way it looked. The styling wise, the case is fantastic. It just looks awesome, in my opinion. Of course, you are limited to two 5.25, and then you have two hot swap bays for your 3.5-inch drives if you have any. I actually have both these slots filled up, and they literally just pull in and out just like that. It's very simple, very easy. Seems to work just fine. Snaps right in, and then life's good. Of course, around to the side here, your side panel. I'll pull that off. Yeah, now they have 3 removable panels, and when I got this case, the powder coat here is still kind of gummy, so it's not, they're thumb screws, but they're actually kind of difficult to get off. And this case is pretty sweet in how it actually is organized. I really like how it's got 2 levels. So you basically have all your heat components, all the stuff that creates a lot of heat and stuff is up top. All your wiring can be tucked down below. Cable management, although there's lots of options for cable management, is still incredibly tight, and I did have some difficulty just figuring out cable routing. And then, as you've seen in some of the other unboxings, they have like a ton of hooks down here at the bottom. I'm sure you guys can't see that, but there's tons of hooks. But for people who have normal size hands, it's pretty difficult to actually loop and take the time to manage the cables to fasten them to the floor. Having said that, it's not that huge of a deal. The cool thing is that everything stays underneath, so it's not actually restricting any of the airflow on the top of the components. As you can see, here is my 7970. The XFX model is probably the best looking graphics card I've ever seen. It's got the it's the double D for double dissipation, which is pretty sweet. It stays pretty cool, and it's actually really quiet, which is a big improvement over my last cards, which I had to get the extra coolers for. Around to the other side, down here, more wire mess. Of course, you get to see, now you guys can see, I don't know if you can see the top layer here. I had to so of course I still have my Antec Cooler 920 here, but I could not run a push-pull on the fans like I was on my other rig, and that is because of this, which is my 200mm Cooler Master exhaust fan that I put in the top of the roof. The problem is that the fan on the radiator was actually not allowing me to close the roof panel of the case with the 200mm fan atop. Now, if you had an air cooler, I think, you
you still, even then, if you have a massive air cooler, you're not going to be able to put a fan in the top of the roof. That's just not going to happen. For me, it was a distance thing. I have a fan intake in this way. I have 2 fans intaking on the other side, and then the big one up top exhausts all my heat out. It was, although I do think that the 200 millimeter fan is necessary for this build. I really do, especially for just getting the heat out, as I have intake from both sides. It is important. It was rather difficult to get on and off once the fan's on here because of the radiator that's attached to the back. Now, I suppose I could have, what I probably could have done, and what you guys may do, because I know a lot of us have these, Corsair H100s or Antec 920s, whatever we're running, the water cooling stuff, the closed loop stuff. We all run them. I suppose if you get this case, it may be a little bit more prudent to actually take the radiator and attach it to the front and have it as an intake. And then if you have the 200 millimeter fan, I don't think that you're going to have as much of a restriction problem if you're running a push-pull on the fan from the radiator. But for me, that's really not how I wanted to run it. I still got it on. It's still secure. Everything's good to go. But the big fan does get in the way. And also, if you guys are looking at this case, make sure you get the Cooler Master 200 millimeter fan, because certain fan companies don't actually make 200 millimeter fans. I know that the NZXT fans are actually only about 190 millimeters, so they will not fit in the roof of here. Fortunately, I read some reviews prior to actually buying the fan, and someone had given me that information. So if you didn't know that, be aware of that, because you'd be pretty upset if you bought a Cougar or a NZXT or whatever your favorite fan model is, and it actually doesn't fit in the Cooler Master roof piece here. So the top fan is LED blue, so it was pretty cool. I got a good deal on Newegg. And then of course, in terms of the front fans, I got 2 Cougar Vortec 120s, same ones I had on my other rig. Actually, in fact, I still got a bunch left over because I had 5 of them on there. But anyway, this is the rig. Most components the same. I know the cable on this side looks pretty terrible, but like I said before, the benefit is that the airflow really isn't restricted based on how things are. And despite the tight spaces, like really tight spaces for cable management, this case looks awesome. I got front USB 3.0 now. I didn't have that before. Of course, you have your headphone, your mic, reset power, all the normal stuff. So anyway, that's my case. That's